Hello, Miss Gella here. I thought I would continue reading The One and Only Bob, and these are chapters 59 through 70. And our first chapter is called A Very Handsome Dog. Hi, Kenyani, Ruby calls. Once again, Ruby, says Kenyani, I'm not your aunt. I'm a primate, and you, my dear, are not. More's the pity. But if Ivan is my uncle, then you have to be my aunt, Ruby declares. Says Ivan, pointing to the wall. My painting, Bob? I consider. It looks like a dog. Ruby flaps her ears. I can tell she's trying very hard to stay quiet. A very handsome dog, I add. Is it? It is, Ruby exclaims. It's you, Uncle Bob. Uncle Ivan told me. But who's that? I ask, pointing to another set of mud strokes. I thought you needed a companion, says Ivan. I know you must get lonely at home by yourself all day. Sorry, adjusting my camera for a second. It's true, but I've never mentioned that to Ivan. Guy's like a mind reader. I think Snickers and Bob would make a cute couple, says Ruby. I blink in disbelief. Bite your trunk, Ruby starts to reply, but her voice is drowned out by a sharp clamp of thunder. Storm's getting close, says Kenyani. Ivan, dear, come on, you know how you hate the damp. It's true. He carries around old burlap bags so he won't have to sit on wet grass. Ivan looks at me sheepishly. She knows me so well. Kudzu, one of the baby gorillas, bounds over and leaps onto Ivan's back. Ivan loves all the youngsters, but Kudzu is his favorite. I think she reminds him a little of his own twin sister, Tag, who died when she was still a baby. Ride! Kudzu commands. Julia appears, her backpack at the ready. Bob, she calls, we need to get going. Ride now, Kudzu repeats, yanking on one of Ivan's ears. Looks like it's time to go, says Ivan. Good to see you, buddy. Stay dry, okay? Will do, big guy. I turn to Kenyani. Enchanted, as always, my dear. A trumpeting noise cuts through the air. Uh-oh, says Ruby. That's Aunt Akello. Akello, the oldest of the elephant aunts, lumbers over. Come on, Ruby, weather's getting bad. Just one more minute, Ruby pleads. Now! But I need to tell Uncle Bob one more riddle. Now, Akello repeats. Nobody ever listens to the littlest elephant, Ruby complains. You can tell me the riddle next time, kiddo, I say, winking at Akello. Ruby brightens. Okay, gotta go, or I'll be in big trouble. Love you, Uncle Bob. See you later, Uncle Ivan and Aunt Kenyani. I'm not your, Kenyani begins, but Ruby is already galloping back to her herd. The beginning. In the distance, thunder growls, long and low and not giving up. Reminds me of my stomach, pre-breakfast. I test the air. Weird. Something isn't right. Julia! It's George, rushing over. Hurry up, you need to get inside. George has an odd scent, like he's on guard. I've only smelled it a few times on him. I look up. The clouds have turned strange shades of green, yellow, and gray, clustered together like rows of fat marshmallows. It's so ugly, it's beautiful. I can't stop looking. The air goes still, like a cat before it leaps on its prey. Kenyani and Ivan and Kudzu are racing toward the gorilla villa. A fat raindrop hits my nose. It tastes wrong. How can rain taste dangerous? People are yelling, running, opening umbrellas, covering their heads with maps of the park. More drops. At the far end of the field, I can just make out Akello herding Ruby along. Another drop. A dry one. Like a pebble. Hail, George says. Julia, now. He grabs her hand. Rumbling. The sky boils and swirls. Bob, Julia calls. Come on. I move to leap off my perch, to run to Julia. I've done it 1,000 times. By this time, I lose my footing. I never slip. I am as nimble as Nutwing. But the rain, the hail. I let out a yelp as I land on Ivan's side of the wall, splat in the mud. Bob! Julia screams. You'll be okay, George says. I can smell Julia's fear and George's doubt as he drags her away. Torn apart. Noise. It's all noise. Noise that hurts. Noise like a massive truck bearing down on us. The power of its engine, the inescapable wheels, the relentless roar. Nothing to see, nothing even to smell. Just the terrible sound of the world disintegrating. No way. I'm flying. Airborne. Not far, just into the nearby giraffe domain. Not high, just enough to buzz the tops of trees. Not long, just long enough to stop breathing. But I fly. I'm not alone. Half the world seems airborne. Trees, boards, bicycles, chunks of roofs, umbrellas, chairs, bits and pieces of life. It all levitates past like some horrible magic trick. Something hits my head. A toy truck, maybe? And I yelp in pain. And I'm terrified. So scared I pee myself. And I'll be the first to admit it. You try and see how your dry underwear stays. But still, I fly. Not like in the box with my brothers and sisters. Not like with the owl. This is different. This is me, Bob, the dog, spending a moment as Bob, the bird. Landing. It's over. I land hard on my rear and slide to a stop directly underneath Stretch, the oldest giraffe in the place. The roar, and by now I've realized we're talking a real, live tornado, vanishes as quickly as it came, leaving a vacuum. A silence that hurts even more than noise. Bad dog. And this is why I'm a bad dog. Not bad dog like I chewed your favorite slippers. Bad dog like I'm not a good representative of my species, of any species. I don't think Ivan, Ruby, Julia, are they all right? I've got to find them. That's what a hero dog would do. One of those guys on the Man's Best Friend show. Hero dogs dash into flames and dig into rubble. Hero dogs are fearless. Nope, not my style. What do I do? Bob, untamed, undaunted. I howl like a newborn puppy. Honest, I'm not hurt. Banged up a little, sure, but nothing major. I don't howl for long, but it's what I do. Like I said, I ain't a saint, but at least I'm honest about my failings. Stretch. Slowly, with some difficulty, Stretch peers down between his two front legs. His body partially shelters me from the rain. A piece of canvas has draped itself around his neck like an ugly scarf. I swallow my howls. We look at each other, too stunned to form actual words. Finally, Stretch clears his throat. Hello, he says in a strangely calm voice. What kind of animal might you be, if you don't mind my asking? Dog. Didn't think you guys flew. We don't, as a rule. I pick myself up, move out from under Stretch, and take in my surroundings. The pelting rain has slowed some, and the wind has dulled. What was that? Stretch asked, trying and failing to yank the canvas off his impressive neck. Tornado, I think. I've seen tornadoes on the Weather Channel. They looked like water swirling down a drain. The water were black and full of trucks and trees. They looked like death. I gaze up at him. I have to crane my neck. You okay? Yep, says Stretch. But from what I can see, a lot of other folks aren't. Aardvarks. Across the way, I hear something. A small squeak. Who lives over there? I ask Stretch. The Aardvark family, he replies. Lovely neighbors. Carefully, I venture across Stretch's domain. The sky is as dark as dusk. I hear a flutter of wings overhead. It's Mitch, Mockingbird. He's missing some feathers. Bob, he calls, settling on a fence post. Was that you I saw up there? Yep. How are things looking? Not good. A lot of damage. Well, take care of yourself, I say. Likewise. He pauses to straighten a wayward feather. Little hint, by the way. Next time you fly, try flapping your paws. I make my way over a broken wooden barrier, tiptoe over some scattered glass and twisted metal, cross the paved path, and arrive at the aardvarks. More sounds. Coming from what looks like a demolished keeper's shed. I hesitate, not sure what to do. It's a big mess, and I'm a small guy. Also, My head hurts. I feel dazed, fuzzy. My ears are ringing. I yank off some small stray boards with my mouth. For the record, small stray boards have small stray nails in them. Underneath the boards are 3 shivering aardvarks, 2 babies, and a mom. They're strange looking, I gotta say, with their long piggy snouts and bunny ears. You good? I ask. What was that? The mother manages to ask. Some seriously bad weather. Is it over? I consult the wind. Doubt it. You think everybody's okay? She asks. Dunno, sure hope so. And it hits me. Ivan, Ruby, Julia, George. Look, I gotta go, I say in a strangled voice. Any part of your indoor den survive? She nods. Think so. Go there, lie low. Where's Pedro? The littlest aardvark asks. I feel my head with a front paw. A nice bump is forming. Who's Pedro? Our keeper. He'll come. I promise. You sure? The baby asks. I'm sure. I say, of course. I'm lying. Sounds. The eerie quiet doesn't last. Before long, the squeals and shrieks and brays and squawks of the animal kingdom crowd the air. Terror, confusion, pain. From afar off comes the wailing of sirens. Car alarms blare from the parking lot. Now and then, people shout. Cries for help translate into any language, human or animal, fish or fowl. Never want to hear those again. Never. Ever. Smells. And the smells, like I said, feelings have a scent. Figured I'd smelled pretty much everything there was to inhale this big old world. But the smell of sheer terror, helplessness, blood, broken bones, torn wings. Well, turns out there are a whole lot of smells I've never encountered. Didn't know how lucky I've been. And that is the end of these chapters. We will find out what happens next later on.